Sandbag Berserker, the ultimate sandbag and calisthenics power endurance training program, is officially here. In this video, I'm going to give you the entire thing, all of it. It will take me some time to explain, there's a lot to it, but I guarantee by the end of this, you will have everything you need to run the program yourself. What makes it special? Well, let me start by saying this program is the coming together of everything I have learned over a lifetime of training. It is density taken to its final form, likely the most thought-out power endurance program you've ever seen, a direct path to mastering heavy sandbag lifting and high-rep calisthenics, and it is unlike anything else I have ever had the joy of experiencing. I can say with confidence, there is nothing else out there quite like Sandbag Berserker. It's hard, almost always brutal in its challenge, but oh, are the rewards worth it. After a year running the program myself, I have become changed. I trained myself to lift a bodyweight sandbag explosively every 20 seconds for 30 straight minutes. I took a 250-pound sandbag for 210 reps and a 315-pound sandbag for over 100, both in 30 minutes as well. I completed multiple intense 1,000-rep calisthenics circuits in under 45 minutes, which is the equivalent of doing a challenging rep every 2.7 seconds for 45 minutes straight. In searching for a limit, I completed these feats and then went on to continue completing them for months on end, and am still completing them, maintaining these heights of performance and continuing to expand them upward and out, learning the truth that the program builds elite traits that stay with you long term. There is no peaking here. You simply become someone capable of completing extreme challenges as if they were nothing more than the everyday, and your capacity only grows with time. I have earned the best physique of my life, lean and dense like a combat athlete who has mastered both lifting the heavy object and himself. I've also taken my endurance to such an extreme level, I am thriving at 8,500 feet elevation after growing up at sea level. I have been able to maintain a daily caloric intake of roughly 4,000 and have become leaner, while also having the heightened energy level usually only felt during those first couple months on a new bulk after a long cut. Even more promising, I have also shared this program, either in its entirety or in part, with other advanced lifters, and they all experience the same thing too, unlocking incredible strength while at the same time accomplishing what essentially comes down in the end to the ultimate achievement, building muscle while burning fat. Finally, while I am giving you the full program in this video, I need to say that Sandbag Berserker is so much more than a simple training routine or a series of workouts. It's more like an ecosystem, a world you can live in for a while, a place where the highest standards are yours to hold and the motivation runs freely. Mostly, Sandbag Berserker is a book, and you can get it for just $3. Yep, a lifetime's work and my heart and soul poured into this thing, and you can get the entire book for $3. No $50 paywall, no subscriptions or anything else like that. Just click the link in the description, go to the Amazon page, tap the button that says $2.99, and you'll have it. I wasn't kidding a couple months ago when I said I was making this for you guys, the Stone Circle, my friends, as a thank you for all the support you've given me over the years. $2.99 is literally the cheapest I could list the book for on Amazon with all the photos and artwork it has. Let this be my way of saying thank you for everything. Thank you. I'll talk more about the book at the end of this video. Alright, and with that, let's get to it. After thinking about this for a long while, I've decided the best way to share the Sandbag Berserker program is by first starting in the center and then moving out. Rather than giving you the entire outline from the start, let's just jump straight into the heart of things, to the 30-minute sandbag power endurance set known as Rite of the Wolf. Everything in the program is done to improve Rite of the Wolf. Each individual piece is there to build it up. It's what you're training for, the entire point, and therefore, I think getting this down first will give meaning to everything else. To explain Rite of the Wolf, I need to first outline two main concepts, power endurance and density training. Starting with power endurance, I'll admit there is so much I have to say about it, much more than would fit in a single video. If you want the full picture, you'll find many chapters on the concept in the Sandbag Berserker book, but at the base level, power endurance can be thought of as usable power. I've come to see it as the defining attribute of the Berserker, of the warrior, which is a big reason for the program's name. Power endurance is the ability to strike with great power and then to strike again and again, even when exhausted. It's the wrestler who must take down his opponent while at the limits of fatigue. It's the boxer who must throw the powerful right hook 3 rounds in, the linebacker who must tackle in the 4th quarter, and it's the warrior who must remain steadfast and sturdy in the shield wall 20 minutes into battle while also remaining on the offensive, striking out with his spear. I see power endurance as the coming together of max power and strength endurance. Max power, like throwing an ultra-heavy sandbag onto the shoulder a single time, which was the primary focus of my first program, Sandbag Hypertrophy, and strength endurance, the strength to carry an injured person to safety 10 miles through waist-deep snow, which was the primary focus of my second program, Sandbag Intensity, where strength endurance took the form of the high-rep sandbag box squat. Power endurance is the single max power rep applied to the long duration strength endurance set. In my opinion, it is the most valuable attribute of all. It is also the most challenging of all, by far, which is why it's so rare to see, but when done well, it is truly a wonder. In this program, we'll develop our power endurance by lifting the sandbag explosively many times while pushing the limits of our endurance. Now for the second thing, density training. Density is a form of progressive overload that is focused on increasing the amount of work completed within a given amount of time. Comparing it with the typical sets and reps approach, rather than 3 sets of 10, a density set might be something like max reps in 10 minutes. There are many benefits to density training, particularly when it comes to sandbags, but for now, just know, on a 1-to-1 scale, density is at least equally effective for causing gains as sets and reps are. When looking at density training, there are essentially 2 main types, AMRAP and EMOM. AMRAP, short for as many reps as possible, is a bit like a free-for-all. An example AMRAP set might be doing as many reps as you can in 5 minutes, then trying to complete at least 1 extra rep in those 5 minutes each workout. There's very little structure to AMRAP. You just start a timer and go as hard as you can until the time is up and hope you end up with more reps than you did last time. That isn't to say the training style is bad, not at all. Though chaotic at times, AMRAP is highly effective with shorter sets. Something like max reps in 5 minutes is clean and easy to track. The problem with AMRAP comes when the sets get longer. 5 minutes is fine, but what about 10 or 20? What about 30 straight minutes? How are you ever supposed to know you're on track, that you're actually pushing yourself hard enough to hit that record when a set lasts a full half an hour? It's like running blind. You can give yourself mental tricks like, I need to make sure I'm doing at least 20 reps every 5 minutes, or I need to reach 50 reps before the clock strikes 10, but it's messy. Eventually, you end up doing what really amounts to a rougher, less organized version of the other density training style, EMOM. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute, and it is one of the most misunderstood and underutilized training styles ever created. The main idea with EMOM is to take a set amount of time, say 30 minutes, and do a rep at the start of each minute. It can be very effective in its base form. 30 reps in 30 minutes is a decent training stimulus, especially with the heavy sandbag exercise. Really though, 1 rep every minute is only scratching the surface of what's possible. EMOM has so much more potential than that, and that's where Sandbag Berserker comes in. The program uses an expanded version of EMOM that I've dubbed the Progressive EMOM System, and I truly believe it is the most complete form of EMOM training there is. It takes traditional EMOM and adds progression in 2 unique ways. First, with what I call the reps per minute method, which is done with the goal of increasing the number of successive reps completed at the start of each minute. For example, beginning with 1 rep at the start of each minute and working up to 3 reps at the start of each minute. And second, with what I call the intervals method, which increases density by breaking each minute up into progressively smaller segments. For example, 1 rep every 60 seconds, then 1 rep every 30 seconds, and finally 1 rep every 20 seconds. And that leads us directly to Rite of the Wolf, the heart of the program. Let's get to it. Rite of the Wolf is a timed 30-minute sandbag power endurance set based on the intervals method of EMOM training. It will be completed using 2 different exercises, the bear hug extension and the horizontal extension. Both exercises begin and end on the ground. You lift the sandbag from the ground to your lap, throw it from your lap to your chest, let it drop back down to your lap, then set it on the ground. That all counts as 1 rep. There are some finer details that go into each variation. I cover those in the book and can make a separate video too if you're interested, but these are not technical movements and I would not recommend treating them in that way. Instead, I would encourage you to think of the extension variations as controlled throws. You get the sandbag to your lap, throw it to your chest, control it back down, and repeat. They're meant to be simple, and that's why they work so well for power endurance. You don't need to think about whether or not you're doing them correctly. Simply pick up the sandbag and throw it with everything you have, and then do it again. The only difference between the two variations is the position of the sandbag. The bear hug extension starts with the sandbag lying vertically on the ground and is done with the sandbag held in a bear hug position, and the horizontal extension is done with the sandbag in a horizontal position. The goal of Rite of the Wolf is slowly working your way up from a starting place of a single explosive rep every 60 seconds for 30 minutes, which is like a traditional EMOM, to a single explosive rep every 20 seconds for 30 minutes. This represents a pure form of power endurance. If you can complete the final challenge, then you will have earned the right to say you understand power endurance in a way most never will. Though perhaps right now the whole thing doesn't seem so bad. I mean, it's just one rep at a time, right? Well, when you keep in mind that each and every rep must be done with momentary maximum power, with essentially everything you have, because this is power endurance and slow-moving reps are not allowed, and then you also consider that it will take roughly 5 seconds to complete each rep from start to finish, meaning you'll only get roughly 15 seconds rest between reps in that final workout, and then you also consider that you have to continue doing that for 30 full minutes, which is a very long time when you're in it, then maybe you'll begin to see what this accomplishment really means. To complete the task, you will work your way through 3 main levels, each level being made up of a series of different workouts. Big picture, level 1 is a single explosive rep every 60 seconds for 30 minutes, level 2 is a single explosive rep every 30 seconds for 30 minutes, and level 3 is a single explosive rep every 20 seconds for 30 minutes. In total, there are 15 different unique workouts you will complete as you make your way through the levels, and each workout will be completed twice, once with the bear hug extension, then again with the horizontal extension. That's 30 full Rite of the Wolf workouts from the start of the program to the end. Before going over the full progression and how everything works, we need to cover one final thing: choosing a sandbag weight. Rite of the Wolf will be completed using the same sandbag every workout for the entirety of the program. Most lifters will use a sandbag somewhere in the 125 to 175 pound range, though it can be more or less than that too. The easiest way to determine the weight you should use is with the bear hug one motion lap to shoulder lift. If you have experience with that exercise, you'll want to use that sandbag that you could throw in one motion from your lap to your shoulder on any given day, regardless of circumstance. It should be that weight that takes everything you have to complete, but at the same time is always possible. If you would sometimes fail to one motion a weight, that weight is too heavy. I used a 150-pound sandbag for this part of the program myself, which was body weight for me, and it was perfect. Remember, 30 minutes is a very long time to be completing explosive reps, so I'd rather you start too light than too heavy. If you don't have any experience with the bear hug one motion lap to shoulder lift, you can also base this off of body weight using the chart shown on screen now. Main thing I'll say here is, if a weight is already starting to feel really heavy by the end of 30 minutes during the level 1 workout, it's likely too much, and you should switch to a lighter sandbag. The difficulty of Rite of the Wolf will double and eventually triple, so don't overdo it and try to rush ahead with weights you aren't ready for. There's always time to move up in the future. Because this workout has you picking a sandbag up off the ground repeatedly while fatigued, you will always want to prioritize breathing and bracing and proper form, and if a weight is too heavy to allow for that, go lighter. Please. I'd want to make sure you stay safe so you can actually experience the gains this program has to offer. Okay, now that you have the big picture and you know how to choose your sandbag, let's get to the details. The first workout, level 1, is 1 rep at the start of each 60-second interval for 30 minutes. This is a basic EMOM setup. It will be completed using the bear hug extension. Start your stopwatch, lift your sandbag from the ground to your lap, then quickly throw it up to your chest using max explosive power. Guide the sandbag back down to your lap, then drop it on the ground. After that single rep, wait and catch your breath. When the stopwatch reaches the start of the next 60-second interval, perform another single rep. Continue in this way for 30 minutes. Note, remember, this is power endurance, not strength endurance. Each and every rep must be explosive. If you lift the weight slowly, you will not get the results we're after. In the second workout, complete level 1 again, this time using the horizontal extension. The reps are exactly the same. The only difference is the exercise. From this point on, as we work from level 1 to level 2, our goal is slowly replacing each of the 60-second intervals with 30-second intervals. That looks like this. In the third workout, you'll go back to the bear hug extension again and complete level 1.1. You can think of this workout as being split up into 6 blocks of 5 minutes, with each 5-minute block being split up in this way. Start your timer and complete a single rep. Rest and catch your breath. When the timer reaches 30 seconds, complete another single rep. In this way, you will have completed 2 reps in the first minute, rather than just 1, and you'll have replaced one of the 60-second intervals with 2 30-second intervals. After that, go back to completing 1 rep at the start of each minute for the remainder of the 5-minute block. You will repeat the 5-minute block 6 times for a total of 30 minutes. In this way, you will have replaced 6 of the 60-second intervals with intervals of 30 seconds, bringing you that much closer to level 2. In the 4th workout, you'll complete level 1.1 again, this time using the horizontal extension. From there, simply follow the workouts, alternating back and forth between the 2 extension variations each workout. As you can see, this method allows us to slowly increase the number of reps completed each workout by a reasonable amount. Yes, it would be much simpler to jump straight from level 1, 1 rep every 60 seconds, to level 2, 1 rep every 30 seconds, but the increase in challenge would be way too much. Consider a bench press for a moment. If you bench on Monday and it takes everything you have to get 5 reps with 135 pounds, you wouldn't expect to be able to come in next Monday and suddenly do 20 reps with 135. Of course not. It takes time to build strength. The same thing applies here. You must follow the slow and steady climb from each level to the next. Alright, and a final note here, I am now going to put the entire workout progression on screen for you, and I will say straight up, don't worry if it looks like a lot. You don't need to memorize the entire thing, not at all. That would be crazy. Just focus on your current level, learn the next one when you get to it, and everything will work out just fine. Now, when you see the full thing laid out like this, I imagine your first thought is probably something like, how could I possibly keep track of all that? It's one thing to understand the progression here and now, but 10 minutes into a workout when breathing is hard, how do you remember what comes next? Don't worry, I have you covered. I've come up with a simple trick you can use so you never lose your way. Each time you move up to a new level, grab a sheet of paper and a pen and write down each minute where more work is completed. What do I mean by that? Let's look again at level 1.1. 6 blocks of 5 minutes, each structured in this way. Can you see how minute 1 has you completing more work than the rest? Minute 1 is made up of 2 reps rather than 1. Looking at the entire 30 minutes as a whole, the first minute of each 5-minute block represents a minute where more work is completed compared with the others. To make sure you never lose your place, all you have to do is write each of these on your paper. With the numbers there in front of you, rather than needing to remember a complex pattern, you can simply put your head down and get to work. If you're currently working from level 1 to level 2, you'll know you need to do a rep every 30 seconds for the written minutes, and we'll go back to a rep every 60 seconds for the unwritten ones. If you're working from level 2 to level 3, you'll know to do a rep every 20 seconds for the written minutes, and we'll go back to a rep every 30 seconds for the unwritten ones. That might sound like it would be a lot to remember, but keep in mind it will take months to move from each level to the next, and after a few workouts, I guarantee you will know exactly what you're meant to do. The only potentially confusing thing here is the way numbers look on a stopwatch. A stopwatch starts at 0, therefore minute 1 looks like minute 0 on a stopwatch. For this reason, I recommend writing it out like this. This way, you'll know with absolute certainty where you are in the set and how many reps you're meant to complete. I do want to make sure things are as easy and straightforward for you as they can be, so here is where I mentioned that Sandbag Berserker goes way beyond this YouTube video and even beyond the book too. I have created an entire free series on my website for you that has a bunch of different things in it. It shows video examples of all the workouts in the program, and also it has cheat sheets you can use for each of the 15 different Rite of the Wolf workouts, so you don't need to waste time figuring all this stuff out on your own. Print them out or just look at them and copy them onto some paper before your training sessions so you have the numbers there for reference. It will take like 2 minutes to do, and I guarantee it will make your workouts infinitely more productive. You'll find a link to everything in the description of this video. The intervals method requires more thought than you'd find with a basic 3 sets of 10 setup. There's no denying that. I promise you though, once you're in the workout, once you've taken a few weeks to familiarize yourself with the structure and you have a good feel for how the sessions go, tracking becomes very straightforward. After a few workouts, you'll get the rhythm, and you'll find you're able to just zone into the music and get the work done without any second guessing. Remember what I said earlier when comparing EMOM with AMRAP. AMRAP is chaotic with longer sets. It's like running blind. The entire point of the intervals method, really of the entire progressive EMOM system as a whole, is giving you a usable path. It would be much easier to say, just start a timer for 30 minutes and do an AMRAP set. As many reps as possible, without any structure, just go at your own pace and screw the structure. but given time following that approach, you would, without a doubt, eventually find that you need the organized path in order to reach the final stages of the program. Take it from someone who spent many months trying to make it work with a basic AMRAP setup himself. Assuming you chose a sandbag that is heavy enough, you will not manage to complete a single rep every 20 seconds for 30 full minutes without a structured way of getting there. It just won't happen. It's too much. I didn't just make up this whole intervals thing because I wanted to create something complicated for the heck of it. No, intervals is the result of me out there, myself, lost in the maze, finding my way through. It took a lot of time to discover the path, and I went in the wrong direction more than a few times, but eventually I did find it, and I'm giving it to you here, now, with this program, so you can take the direct route and become a freaking yoked power endurance monster as fast as possible. Last thing, if you hate the idea of the intervals method and its rigid structure, I do offer an introductory program in the book called The First Hunt that uses AMRAP rather than EMOM, just so you know. It's a way to get started with Sandbag Berserker without the structure. You don't need the book to run it, by the way. All you have to do is replace the EMOM stuff in this program with AMRAP, and everything else is the same. I do have the full thing written out in the appendices section of the book if you want a clear guide though. The first hunt is only meant to be run for a month before moving on to the true program, but it can be a great way of easing your way in. Okay, I know I just introduced some pretty heavy programming stuff, so I think now would be a good time to hit you with some motivation. The Sandbag Berserker program actually has different ranked standards for you to work towards. I go into more detail on why I set them up the way I did in the book, but here's an outline of the ranks. Sandbag Initiate, body weight minus 50 pounds up to 125 pounds. Sandbag Fighter, body weight minus 25 pounds up to 150 pounds. Sandbag Berserker, body weight up to 175 pounds. Sandbag Warlord, body weight plus 25 pounds up to 200 pounds. These represent the sandbag weights used for the level 3 Rite of the Wolf workouts. As you can see, if you want to earn the Sandbag Fighter rank, for example, you'll use a sandbag that weighs your body weight minus 25 pounds with a maximum weight of 150 pounds. That means if you weigh 150 pounds yourself and you complete the level 3 workouts with a 125 pound sandbag, you will earn the rank of Sandbag Fighter. Also, if you weigh 200 pounds, because your body weight minus 25 pounds is more than the upper limit for this rank, you would use that upper limit, which is a 150 pound sandbag. If you want to earn the rank of Sandbag Berserker, you will use a sandbag weighing your body weight for the level 3 Rite of the Wolf workouts, or if you weigh anything more than 175 pounds, you would use a 175 pound sandbag for this rank. To claim a title for yourself, you must successfully complete the 30-minute Rite of the Wolf Level 3 workout with both extension variations. These are to be completed in 2 different workouts on separate days. Each rep must be performed with the intention of real explosive power, no slow-moving strength endurance here, and the set must follow the intended 20-second interval structure, meaning you must complete a rep every 20 seconds. Doing a bunch of reps at once and then resting for a long time does not count. If you complete a rank, upload a video or videos here on YouTube. You can keep them unlisted so they aren't public if you want, or upload your videos over on the Stone Circle community page. That's on the same website where you'll find the cheat sheets I mentioned earlier. And once it's uploaded, let me know, and if you actually earned the rank, I'll put your name at the end of my sandbag videos when I upload them, as someone who has earned his place by putting in the work. Make sure you weigh yourself in the sandbag in the same video without stopping the recording. It's fine if you weigh yourself at the end after you've already sweat a bunch, and if you're off by something like a pound or two because you're wearing heavy clothing, that's fine. But I will say I am going to be very strict about this. It must be true power endurance start to finish, and if you're a full 5 pounds above the weight cap, you won't earn the rank. If you submit an attempt and it doesn't count, don't worry though, you can always try again. Personally, I have earned the Sandbag Berserker rank using a 150 pound sandbag myself, which was a little over my body weight at the time of completing the final workouts. I want to see some of you super strong guys out there putting me to shame and unlocking that Warlord rank. Last here, don't feel like you need to rush or anything. Completing this program takes a long time, and I will continue doing this long term, so don't feel like you're going to miss out if you follow the program as intended or anything like that. Please take your time, complete the levels as outlined, and when you make it, you can claim a rank for yourself. Now that we've covered Rite of the Wolf, let's look at the overall structure of the program. Sandbag Berserker has 2 unique training days, the Calisthenics Circuit workout and the Sandbag Workout. The program can be run following either a 2-on, 1-off rotation, that's what I did myself, or a more typical 7-day rotation like this: Monday, Calisthenics Circuit workout; Tuesday, Sandbag Workout; Wednesday off; Thursday, Calisthenics Circuit workout; Friday, Sandbag Workout; Saturday off, Sunday off. Every single workout is structured in the exact same way each training day and follows the same structure for the entirety of the program. The only thing that changes is what you do within that structure. Here are both days laid out in their base forms. Calisthenics Circuit workout template: 1. Calisthenics Circuit; 2. Rear delts; 3. Biceps; 4. Triceps; 5. Neck curls/neck extensions. Sandbag workout template: 1. 30-minute sandbag set; 2. Lower back; 3. Abs/obliques; 4. 10-minute calisthenics set; 5. Front or side delts; 6. Neck curls/neck extensions. As you can see, each workout starts with the main event, either a calisthenics circuit or a 30-minute sandbag set, and is followed, for the most part, by isolation work. Laid out in this way, the program is pretty straightforward. There might be a lot to each individual piece, but as a whole, there's not much to it. It's just 2 different training days, and that's it. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed for any reason, not sure what to do next, all you have to do is look back at this template and you'll find your way. Rite of the Wolf and the overall structure explained, 2 final steps remain. First, we need to discuss the other parts of the program, the other sandbag exercises, the calisthenics, and the isolation. And second, we need to look at how the actual program is run and how the rotation works, so you know exactly what to do. And with that, let's start filling in the blanks, starting with the rest of the sandbag stuff. In the Sandbag Berserker program, there are 4 different 30-minute sandbag sets you'll rotate through, each based on a different animal. For the sake of keeping this video on task, I'll just say the animal imagery runs deep. Check out the book for more on that. We've covered Rite of the Wolf already, the heart of the program, which is a 30-minute power endurance set based on the Sandbag Bear Hug extension and the Sandbag Horizontal extension. After that, there is Where Bears Walk, which is a 30-minute heavy strength endurance set based on the Sandbag Platform Lap to Chest to Lift. There is Trial of the Mountain Lion, which is a 30-minute medium strength endurance set, also based on the Sandbag Platform Lap to Chest to Lift. And finally, there is March of the Elk, which is a 30-minute light strength endurance set based on the Sandbag Shoulder Carry. Let's begin with Where Bears Walk and Trial of the Mountain Lion. These sets use the reps per minute method of EMOM training, where the goal is slowly increasing the number of reps you complete at the start of each minute. They are both done using the platform lap to chest to lift, and are essentially the exact same workout, with the only difference being the sandbag weight you use and the number of reps you complete. Both sets represent intense overload training, Where Bears Walk overloads with weight, and Trial of the Mountain Lion overloads with reps. Before going over the actual progression, I should cover the lift itself. The platform lap to chest lift is really simple. Just put a sandbag onto a platform, lift it from the platform to your lap with a bear hug grip, then lift it from your lap to your chest. That's it. There's no reason to go any deeper than that here. All you're doing is lifting the sandbag from your lap to your chest and setting it on a platform between sets so you don't need to pick it up off the ground every time. The main challenges here come with the platform itself and the weights used. This program requires you use some pretty heavy sandbags, and also requires you get those heavy sandbags onto a platform. I'd have a section on that in the book, but even better, I'd also made a full video with Florian from Creative Training Hacks on using a platform in your training. If you want a detailed guide on how to get set up, and also how to add weight to a lighter sandbag if you don't have a super heavy bag, I recommend checking that out later. On that note, let's cover sandbag weights. Where Bears Walk is meant to be done with a sandbag that is twice the size of your power endurance sandbag, and Trial of the Mountain Lion is meant to be done with a sandbag that is halfway between the two. For example, if you use 150 pounds for Rite of the Wolf, you will use 300 for Where Bears Walk and 225 for Trial of the Mountain Lion. This doesn't need to be exact, and if those weights are out of reach, you can start lighter. Just know your potential with this exercise is extreme, and you can likely lift much more than you'd expect. Seriously, a friend of mine, Liam, over in Scotland, just surpassed 4 times body weight using a platform, and then went on to carry that weight. Something that is double your power endurance weight will feel heavy at first, but you have the strength for it, I know it. Quick note, Often the main limiting factor here is grip, either because the grip isn't strong enough or because heavy sandbags are simply too wide to hold on to. For that reason, feel free to use a strap for these sets, a strap being just some kind of sturdy cloth material you can hold on to extend the reach of your arms. Again, I know I keep saying this, but more on that in the book. Okay, back to it. So, as I said, the goal with these workouts is increasing the number of successive reps completed at the start of each minute. Where Bears Walk begins with 1 rep at the start of each minute, and over the course of the entire program works up to 3 reps at the start of each minute, and Trial of the Mountain Lion begins with 4 reps at the start of each minute, and moves to 7 reps at the start of each minute. Where Bears Walk Level 1 is 1 rep at the start of each minute, Level 2 is 2 reps, and Level 3 is 3. Trial of the Mountain Lion Level 1 is 4 reps at the start of each minute, Level 2 is 5 reps, Level 3 is 6, and Level 4 is 7. Just like with Rite of the Wolf, moving from one level directly to the next would be too much, so there are a series of workouts you'll work your way through to complete the task. Also, as you can see, there are more levels to complete in Trial of the Mountain Lion compared with the others. This is intentional, again, something I figured out during my time spent with this stuff. The lighter weight used allows you to progress a bit faster. Just to give you a quick example of how the reps per minute EMOM method works, in Where Bears Walk Level 1, you will complete 1 rep at the start of each minute for 30 minutes. In Workout 2, you will complete Level 1.1 by splitting the 30 minutes into 10 blocks of 3 minutes in this way. Workout 3 moves to Level 1.2, and so on. Trial of the Mountain Lion follows a similar path, only with a higher number of reps. I'll put the entire list of workouts for each of these 2 sets on screen now. This should look familiar after Rite of the Wolf. Though each different set follows its own path, the general idea is more or less the same. Start at Level 1 and slowly work your way up over time. Like with Rite of the Wolf, I have created cheat sheets you can use for these workouts too. I would recommend having them handy when doing your workouts. Final thing, I mentioned this earlier, but don't feel like you need to memorize this entire progression model or anything like that. Just work on each individual level when you get to it. The final sandbag part of the program, March of the Elk, is a 30-minute set focused on the sandbag shoulder carry. It will be done using a sandbag that weighs the same as your Rite of the Wolf Power Endurance sandbag. In this way, the entire program can be run with just 3 sandbags. As an example, Rite of the Wolf, 150-pound sandbag, March of the Elk, 150-pound sandbag, Trial of the Mountain Lion, 225-pound sandbag, and Where Bears Walk, 300-pound sandbag. And remember, you don't necessarily need to have 3 sandbags. You can always add additional weight to a lighter sandbag if need be. Again, more on that in the video I made with creative training hacks. Also, there are program variations in the book that only require a single sandbag. Like the other 2 strength endurance sets, during March of the Elk, you should place your sandbag on a platform between carries. Though the weight is lighter and lifting it from the ground would be possible, using the platform allows you to accumulate much more quality volume with the part of the exercise we're actually concerned with, the carry. The lift from the ground will get all the attention it needs during Rite of the Wolf, so don't feel bad for using a platform here. The main thing that separates March of the Elk from the other sandbag sets is intensity. It is meant to be much less intense than the others. While it does offer a lot of unique benefits, you can almost think of March of the Elk as a chance to calm yourself amidst the craziness of this program. The goal of this set is to eventually reach the point where you're able to carry the sandbag pretty much non-stop for the entire 30 minutes. That might seem like a lot now, but you will adapt to this a lot faster than you might expect. I've seen it many times now. You start out, and for a few workouts, you wonder how it would ever be possible to push even a single step further. Your entire body gets really sore somehow, and you dread the thought of your next attempt. Then suddenly one day you come in and realize that dread has gone away. It's like you break through a barrier and come to find that for some reason you now seem to enjoy the feeling of the sandbag on your shoulder, and you feel like you could keep going all day if need be. It's unexpected, but it's pretty great if I'm being honest. I love this workout myself. To get there, rather than following a specific set of workouts, March of the Elk begins by first reducing rest times between carries, then moves to increasing the distance traveled in each carry. Here's how you do it. In the first workout, begin by completing a shoulder carry of moderate difficulty. Think something in the range of 5 or 6 out of 10, with 10 being a carry taken to absolute failure, where you're just passed out on the ground. Let's say this represents 1 lap of your training space, or roughly 50 feet traveled. In workout 1, perform 1 lap while carrying the sandbag on your right shoulder, then rest for a full 45 seconds. After that, complete a lap carrying the sandbag on your left shoulder, then rest for 45 seconds again. Continue in this way for 30 minutes. Once you manage to complete the full 30-minute workout with 45 seconds rest between carries, begin working your way down in increments of 5 seconds each workout until you reach 20 seconds rest between carries for the full 30 minutes. Once you manage that, begin adding distance to your carries. For example, if you had been doing 1 lap of your training space each carry, try completing a workout where you begin with 1 2-lap carry on each shoulder, followed by the usual 1 lap per carry for the remainder of the workout. Right shoulder 2 laps, rest 20 seconds. Left shoulder 2 laps, rest 20 seconds. Right shoulder 1 lap, rest 20 seconds. Remainder of the workout, 1 lap per carry. In the next workout, try completing 2 2-lap carries per shoulder and continue in that way until each carry in the workout is 2 laps. At that point, begin working towards 3 laps per carry, then 4, and so on. If you begin the program with 50 feet per carry or 1 lap of your workout space, you should make it to somewhere in the range of 200 to 250 feet per carry or 4 to 5 laps by the end. I'll put an example progression chart on screen for you to check out now. This gives the general idea. Just know that you don't need to be perfect with this. If it takes you the entire program to work your way down to 20 seconds rest between carries and you never actually increase the distance of each carry, that's okay. Just make sure you're getting a little better each time and think of March of the Elk as an opportunity to catch your breath, so to speak. I think of it like if the other sandbag workouts are the battles, then March of the Elk is the distance between battles. And that's all for the sandbag part of the program. If the 30-minute sandbag set represents the main event in the sandbag workout, what comes next is the main event of the Calisthenics Circuit workout, the Calisthenics Circuit. Let's get to it. Calisthenics Circuits. I have made so many videos on these, so today I'll keep things as basic as I can. As we work our way through this, just keep 2 things in mind. 1, these circuits are super effective for building both muscle and strength endurance, much more effective than most other circuits out there, and they have dramatically changed me and thousands of others in incredible ways. And 2, these circuits are a big part of what makes Sandbag Berserker so unique. They are the other half to mastering the path and becoming the ultimate hybrid athlete. Where heavy sandbag lifting grants you mastery over lifting the object, the Calisthenics Circuit grants you mastery over lifting the self. Together, true balance is found. It's cool being able to lift heavy weights, and it's cool being able to do lots of bodyweight calisthenics, but I don't think anyone can deny it's infinitely more cool being able to do both. That's what you should hope to achieve with this program. Okay, to start, I'll show you the actual circuits themselves so you have something for reference, and then I'll cover how they work. During this program, you will rotate through 3 different circuits at a time. The exact circuits you use will be determined by your current strength and experience level. There are 4 different circuit levels to choose from. When you start the program, choose a level based on the following criteria. Level 1. Start with this level if you cannot perform a single bodyweight pull-up. Level 2. Start with this level if you can perform 1 to 6 bodyweight pull-ups in a single set. Level 3. Start with this level if you can perform 7 to 12 bodyweight pull-ups in a single set. Level 4. Start with this level if you can perform 13 or more bodyweight pull-ups in a single set. The levels are listed on screen now. All you have to do is choose one. Don't feel like one level is necessarily better or worse than any other, and don't try to start with a level that is too challenging. That would slow down your progress by a lot. I have used these exact circuit levels with many people I've trained myself, and every single time it's the same. Someone who is meant for level 2 and progresses through it as recommended will eventually progress through level 3 and then level 4 faster than someone who is meant for level 2 and attempts to start with level 3 when they shouldn't. Always remember, what matters is that you improve relative to your own current strength level. As long as you improve, it doesn't matter what the exercises are, you will make gains. I recommend taking a screenshot of this list or writing down the circuits you'll use based on your level. Now let's look at how they work. For this next part, I'll leave one of the circuits on screen so you can apply the following rules to it as we go. 1. Each circuit is made up of 4 exercises, an upper body pull, 2 upper body pushes, and a core exercise. 2. Each circuit will be done using a 5-3-2 or a 3-2-1 ladder rep scheme. 5-3-2 means you do 5 reps of each exercise, then 3 reps of each exercise, then 2 reps of each exercise. 3-2-1 means you do 3 reps of each exercise, then 2 reps of each exercise, then 1 rep of each exercise. Completing a full ladder counts as 1 round. Here's an example round using the 5-3-2 rep scheme. 5 pull-ups, 5 dips, 5 ab wheel rollouts, 5 pike push-ups, 3 pull-ups, 3 dips, 3 ab wheel rollouts, 3 pike push-ups, 2 pull-ups, 2 dips, 2 ab wheel rollouts, 2 pike push-ups. 3. Each circuit will be completed for max rounds in the 20 to 25 minute range. To do this, start a timer and begin completing rounds. Continue completing rounds until you reach the 20 to 25 minute range. Stop when it would be unreasonable for you to complete an additional round without going over 25 minutes. For example, if you finish 5 rounds in 24 minutes, completing another round would put you over 25 minutes, so stop at 5 rounds. In your first attempt, you might make it 3 rounds or you might complete a full 10. Either is fine. All that matters is that you push yourself for the full 20 to 25 minutes. 4. Progress by doing more rounds over time. If you manage 6 rounds in 22 minutes in your first workout, continue repeating 6 rounds every workout until you finish them in under 20 minutes. Once you manage this, add an additional round next workout and repeat the process. Here's an example. Workout 1, 6 rounds in 24 minutes, then you complete a few more workouts, getting a little bit faster each time. Then workout 5, 6 rounds in 20 minutes and 6 seconds. Workout 6, 6 rounds in 19 minutes and 50 seconds. Here you can see you finish the 6 rounds in under 20 minutes, so you will add an additional round, meaning workout 7 is 7 rounds and we'll say it takes you 23 minutes. Workout 8, 7 rounds in 22 minutes and 44 seconds, and so on. 5. Rest if needed, but don't plan ahead for it. The goal is to continue for the entire 20 to 25 minutes without ever stopping for longer than it takes to move from one exercise to the next. That likely won't be possible until you become very advanced with these circuits, and that's okay. Rest if you need to. It is okay to rest at any point during a circuit. That could be between rounds, between exercises, or even in the middle of a set. 6. Maintain strict form at all times. Always hold yourself accountable. Do not use partial reps as a way to complete a circuit faster. The only person you're competing against is yourself, and to win by cheating is to lose. Okay, so now you have your circuits and you know how to do them. Last but not least, let's look at long-term progression. Once you've selected your level, simply rotate through the circuits in that level each week. I'll cover more on the specific rotation soon, trying to improve your time just a little bit each workout, and keep going until eventually you're able to complete each of the 3 circuits in your level for 13 rounds in under 25 minutes. This will represent a significant challenge, so don't worry if you stay within the same level for most of the program. Again, all that matters is that you make progress relative to yourself. Once you manage 13 rounds in 25 minutes with all 3 circuits, move on to the next level and start over. Note, if you have one circuit that's way behind the others, that's okay. Keep following the rotation as usual until you manage all 3 circuits in under 25 minutes. You might even end up with one circuit closer to 24 or even 23 minutes by the time you're ready to move up, which is pretty cool. And that's all there is to it. This is the most comprehensive and scalable version of these circuits I've ever made. I hope you find it useful. And of course, if you want a deeper dive into circuits in general, I've made a bunch of videos. I have a whole playlist on my channel you can check out, so feel free to look at that after you watch this video. Final thing, if you manage to complete each of the level 4 circuits for 13 rounds in under 25 minutes, there are additional paths you can follow too. You'll find those in the book, or just reach out in the comments and I can share what to do next. Most of the big stuff is done. Now let's cover the 10-minute calisthenics sets, also known as the 10-minute Battle of Bodyweight. The 10-minute Battle of Bodyweight is a 10-minute density set that is focused on one individual calisthenics exercise at a time. Where the calisthenics circuits work everything at once, these are more about strengthening each individual part in isolation. The 10-minute battle rotates through these exercises: dips, pull-ups, pike push-ups, and bodyweight rows. If you can't do pull-ups, that's okay. Just rotate through the other 3 exercises. These sets will be done using a very specific kind of EMOM, which you can think of as a hybrid of the reps per minute and intervals method. Like Rite of the Wolf, each minute will be separated into multiple parts, and like the bear and mountain lion sets, you'll work towards increasing the number of successive reps completed within each of those parts. Each minute will be split into 6 10-second segments. The base level is 1 rep every 10 seconds for the full 10 minutes, for a total of 60 reps. The upper limit is somewhere around 4 to 5 reps every 10 seconds for the full 10 minutes, for a total of 240 to 300 reps, though that's somewhere way off in the distance. The main goal of these workouts is to increase the number of reps completed per minute by 1 as often as possible. This is done using a series of steps. Let's look at how progression happens within each minute. As you can see, level 1 begins with each minute separated into 6 10-second intervals of 1 rep each. To complete this workout, all you have to do is start your timer and complete a single rep at the start of each 10-second interval. Once you manage 1 rep every 10 seconds for the full 10 minutes, you'll move to level 1.1, which is 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. During the first 10 seconds of each minute, you'll complete a set of 2 reps. Then for each 10-second interval after that, you'll complete 1 rep. Here's what that looks like. When you progress from level 1 to level 1.1, the number of reps completed per minute moves from 6 to 7, bringing the total from 60 to 70 reps over the course of the entire 10-minute set. During the early weeks of the program, you might manage to jump straight from one level to the next every workout without fail. You might even manage to jump ahead multiple levels. For example, you might find level 1 rows are so easy, you're able to jump all the way to level 2 the next time you do them. It will take a bit of figuring out when you first start, but after a few workouts, everything will fall into place. I wouldn't worry too much about being perfect at first. There's time to figure everything out, and the challenge will be there before you know it. These sets really sneak up on you. I will say that as you reach the later stages of this progression, each jump will represent a significant increase in difficulty, and you might need to slow things down a bit. I cover how to do that in the book. It isn't so bad, especially once you've already been working with these for some time and have a feel for how they go, and you shouldn't need to worry about it for a while. Just know that later on down the road, you may need to separate things even further. For now, you'll be fine following the basic levels as written. By the way, I made cheat sheets for all of this too. You can find them alongside the others using the link in the description. One final thing, I should mention that each exercise progresses on its own, and it may take longer to progress with one exercise over another. For example, you'll probably reach level 3 with rows way before you even get close to that with pull-ups. That's to be expected. Just progress each thing on its own, and be sure to track everything in your training log so you never lose your place. Okay, just one last specific thing, then we'll get to the less structured isolation part of the program. For the abs and obliques, we will use a specific circuit of exercises done lying on the ground. I have made an entire video on this circuit. I'll have that linked below if you want to check it out. I've now been using it for a very long time, and the results have been great. Quick run through though, the exercises are side-to-side leg lifts, flutter kicks, reverse crunches to leg extensions, and bicycles. The goal is to make it straight through all 5 exercises without ever letting your feet touch the ground. I recommend starting with something like 6 to 8 reps per exercise, then going up by 1 rep for each exercise each workout until you reach 20 reps for each exercise. For example, 6 reps of each exercise without letting your feet touch the ground in workout 1, then 7 of each in workout 2, 8 of each in workout 3, and so on. Once you reach 20 reps for each exercise, add half a pound to 1 pound per ankle using ankle weights, start back down in the 6 to 8 rep range per exercise, and build back up to 20 each. The circuit is pretty straightforward and shouldn't take very long to do. For the obliques, complete 50 side leg raises per side using the same weight you used for the circuit. Example, if you just used body weight for the circuit, use body weight for the side leg raises. If you had a 1 pound ankle weight on each ankle for the circuits, leave them on as you do the side leg raises. Alright, and that's the hard stuff. On to the isolation work. In this section of the video, we're just going to cover the exercises themselves. We'll get to specific sets and reps later. Many of the exercises in this program are predetermined. Rite of the Wolf is done with the 2 extension variations. The Calisthenics Circuits are done using specific circuits I have created. The abs circuit is always the same, but there are some exercises that will be up to you to choose based on what you have available. Here is a full list of the isolation slots in the program. It will be up to you to choose a specific exercise for each of these. 1 rear delts exercise, 1 biceps exercise focused on the stretch, 1 biceps exercise focused on the pump, 1 triceps pushdown exercise, 1 triceps extension exercise, 1 front delts exercise, 1 side delts exercise, 1 neck curl exercise, 1 neck extension exercise, and 1 lower back / posterior chain pump exercise. That's 10 total slots that are completely up to you. By the way, once you choose an exercise for each slot, they will stay the same for the entire program. You only have to go through this once. There are 2 main things to note here. First is the distinction between biceps pump and stretch exercises. This doesn't need to be perfect or anything, but try to get close if you can. For example, for the pump exercise, I used kettlebell goblet curls myself. Now, you could easily make that exercise about the stretch by leaning your torso back as you lower the kettlebell, but it intuitively just works as a pump-based exercise that focuses on the top part of the movement. For the stretch, I used axle bar curls, which again is an intuitive choice. Just use whatever you have available and try to get close. Second, the lower back / posterior chain exercise is meant to be really easy. It's just something you'll do to pump some extra blood into the posterior chain to aid with recovery as you catch your breath after your sandbag set. Bodyweight hyperextensions or light band good mornings are good for this. Deadlifts, RDLs, straight weight good mornings, or Nordics are all examples of things you should not use. Definitely don't do anything like that. Again, this is just about getting a pump, not causing additional muscle damage. Here is a list of everything I used myself when running the program. For the rear delts, I used chest expander pull-aparts. For the biceps stretch exercise, I used axle bar curls. For the biceps pump exercise, I used kettlebell goblet curls. For the triceps pushdown exercise, I did band pushdowns with a stick. For the triceps extension exercise, I did axle tricep extensions done lying on the ground, dead stop. For the front delts, I did plate front raises overhead. For the side delts, I did plate side lateral raises. For the neck curls, I used a head harness, the neck flex in particular. I did band neck curls. And for the neck extensions, I also used the neck flex and did band neck extensions. For the lower back / posterior chain pump exercise, I just did bodyweight 45 hyperextensions. Don't stress about this part. Just choose an exercise for each slot based on what you have available. And as long as you actually do the work, you'll be good. Alright, and finally, let's put everything together and go through the actual workouts themselves, starting with the Calisthenics Circuit workout. You'll begin with your first Calisthenics Circuit, Circuit A from your chosen level, and each workout you'll simply rotate through your list. Workout 1, Circuit A, Workout 2, Circuit B, Workout 3, Circuit C, Workout 4, back to Circuit A again, and so on. After the circuit, exercise 2 is your rear delts isolation exercise. This will be completed for max reps in 5 minutes. Choose a weight you could use for a hard set of 10 to 20 reps to failure in a basic straight set, and work up over time to completing 100 reps in 5 minutes. Then add the smallest amount of weight you can to the exercise and start over. It might take you many months to reach 100 reps in 5 minutes, and that's fine. Don't rush ahead. Just try to complete at least 1 extra rep in those 5 minutes each workout, and you'll know you're making progress. Exercises 3 and 4 are for the biceps and triceps. Workout 1, you will use your biceps pump exercise and your triceps extension exercise. And workout 2, you will use your biceps stretch exercise and your triceps pushdown exercise. Workout 3 will be back to pump and extension, and so on. Like the rear delts exercise, these will all be completed for max reps in 5 minutes, starting with a weight you could use for a hard set to failure in the 10 to 20 rep range. The only difference here, where the biceps pump and triceps pushdown will both go to 100 reps in 5 minutes before adding weight, the biceps stretch and triceps extension will each go to only 50 reps in 5 minutes before adding weight. The final exercises in the workout are neck curls and neck extensions. These will be done as a superset for 4 sets of 25 reps each, meaning you'll do 25 neck curls, then 25 neck extensions, then 25 curls again, and continue until you've completed 4 sets of 25 reps each. And that's it. After all the time it took to explain each individual part, perhaps this seems a bit anticlimactic, but that's kind of the point. Though each part of the program has a good amount going on, the workouts themselves are really straightforward. All you have to do is look at the basic template and do whatever comes next on your list. Workout 1, look at your list of things. Start with Calisthenics Circuit A, do your rear delts exercise, then your biceps pump and triceps extension, then your neck work, and that's it. Workout 2, look at your list again. Okay, this time it's Calisthenics Circuit B, your same rear delts exercise as always, your biceps stretch and triceps push down, the same neck work again, and that's it. Workout 3, it's Circuit C, and back to the biceps pump and triceps extension, and so on. Workout 4 is back to Calisthenics Circuit A. It might take you a couple weeks to get in the flow, but once you do, you probably won't even need to look at your list of exercises. You'll just know what to do next. Now let's cover the Sandbag workout. Like the Calisthenics Circuit workout, this training day follows a set template and simply rotates through different exercises each workout based on your list of things. Exercise 1 is your 30-minute sandbag set. These sets do follow a specific rotation that goes like this. 1. Power endurance, wolf. 2. Light strength endurance, elk. 3. Power endurance, wolf. 4. Heavy strength endurance, bear. 5. Power endurance, wolf. 6. Light strength endurance, elk. 7. Power endurance, wolf. 8. Medium strength endurance, mountain lion, repeat. Now, what you'll notice here, if you take the big picture view, is that there are really essentially just 2 alternating weeks. If you use the 7-day rotation mentioned earlier, something like Calisthenics Circuit Workout Monday, Sandbag Workout Tuesday, Calisthenics Circuit Workout Thursday, and Sandbag Workout Friday, then Rite of the Wolf, the Power Endurance Workout, is done every Tuesday. Then you alternate back and forth between shoulder carries and the platform lap to chest lift on the Friday workouts. You might also say every Tuesday is a power endurance workout and every Friday is a strength endurance workout. The power endurance workouts alternate back and forth between bear hug extensions and horizontal extensions, and the strength endurance workouts rotate in this way: elk, bear, elk, mountain lion. The entire cycle spans 8 workouts, meaning if you use a 7-day training split and complete 2 sandbag workouts per week, the cycle will repeat once every month. The second exercise is your lower back / posterior chain pump exercise. This exercise will be the same each workout and will be done with the goal of accumulating 100 total reps. It doesn't really matter how you get there, just pump out 100 in some way while you catch your breath after the sandbag set. 4 sets of 25 works well as an example. I also really like 30, 25, 20, 15, and 10. I like to use that myself sometimes. Third in the workout is direct work for the abs and obliques. Do your abs circuit, then your side leg raises, and move on. Exercise 4 is the 10-minute calisthenics set. As outlined earlier, each workout you will rotate through dips, pull-ups if you can do them, pike push-ups, and bodyweight rows. Exercise 5 is an isolation movement for either the front delts or the side delts. You will alternate back and forth between these each workout. Like the other isolation exercises outlined in the Calisthenics Circuit workout, these will be done for max reps in 5 minutes, starting with a weight you could use for 10 to 20 reps to failure in a straight set, and you'll work up to completing 100 reps in 5 minutes before adding weight and starting over. For example, workout 1, you'll do your front delts exercise. Workout 2, you'll do your side delts exercise. Workout 3, it's front delts again, and so on. The final part of the workout is neck curls and neck extensions. These exercises will be the same as what you used in your Calisthenics Circuit workout. There's no need to rotate. Just complete the same superset of neck curls and neck extensions for 4 sets of 25 reps each. And that's it for the sandbag workout. Again, each individual piece might have a lot going on, but the actual workout itself is very straightforward. I will put a full month-long rotation of the program in the pinned comment of this video, just so you can see everything together. And I've also written out the entire thing from start to finish on the website. It's a lot. This program takes like 6 to 7 months to complete, but seeing the full progression laid out in its entirety can help if you're feeling at all uncertain. Last but not least, I won't go into much detail here, but the final part of the program is daily movement. When running Sandbag Berserker, I recommend working up to at least 10,000 steps per day and over time aiming for 20,000. I'll leave it at that for now, but there is a full chapter on this in the book, and just know it is super important. And that's the program. It's a lot. Yeah, there's no denying it, but it's so worth it. Like I said at the start of this video, Sandbag Berserker is much more like an ecosystem than it is a basic challenge workout plan or something like that. This is the fine-tuned path for anyone who actually wants to master this stuff. I thought about dumbing the program down many times just for the sake of simplicity, but in the end I stayed true to what I ran myself, and I'm glad I did. Because as is, it allows you to accomplish some pretty incredible things. Not only does your physique transform, but you become a master of the rarest and most intense attribute there is, power endurance. I hope you'll give the program a try. And as a final reminder, don't forget that the First Hunt AMRAP program variation is available for you to use if you don't want to deal with the complexity for now. Rather than levels and all that, it just follows the basic approach. Start a timer and do as many reps as you can before the time runs out. And back to the book. I know I mentioned this at the start of the video, but you can get Sandbag Berserker for just $3 on Amazon if you want. Again, this is my thank you to you guys for all the years of support, and really just for being the coolest community out there. The Stone Circle YouTube name was meant to represent an actual stone circle, a place where like-minded lifters could all gather and hang out. It's been an honor seeing that actually happen. Even if you think the program is a bit crazy and have no intention of running it, the book itself should still be motivating to you. If you like my YouTube videos, I think you'll enjoy it. It really is much more novel than fitness influencer program wearing the mask of a book. It is a true book. It's nonfiction, so it isn't actually a novel, but there is a lot in there to get excited about. Though each chapter ties in with the Sandbag Berserker program, hidden within the chapters is all of my accumulated knowledge on sandbags and many other things gained from years in the trenches myself. The book starts with a foreword written by Trevor Hash from Gym Free. You might know him for his work on the channel's strength side. It's the perfect introduction. You'll know what I mean when you read it. He'll actually be releasing a video version of that foreword over on his channel Gym Free sometime soon, so be sure to check that out. After that, there's some introductory stuff on sandbags and calisthenics, why power endurance is awesome, and how Sandbag Berserker is the middle path, the coming together of sandbag hypertrophy and sandbag intensity, my first 2 books and programs. There's some awesome artwork in there, all illustrated by hand by a real person, of course. I was lucky to work with world-renowned artist Timur Khabarov of All 4 Band for this project, known for his work with Seether, Orbit Culture, Stormseeker, and a bunch of other cool bands. There are a full 9 different illustrations by him in the book. 5 of them are also shirts, by the way. You can get them on my website. They look so cool. After that, the book talks about muscle, endurance, functionality, the different attributes, different sandbag lifts and unique ways of doing them, thoughts on sandbag lifting and the journey as a whole, and there's even a chapter in there that covers berserkers themselves. It describes some history and also goes deep into my interpretation of the berserker battle trance. I'm not sure how it would go if I shared that here. It's like a real method I used myself to enter a trance-like state when completing the workouts. If you notice me dancing around during the workouts shown in this video, that's why. I think it's pretty awesome. I gotta say I'm particularly proud of that chapter, and I think that's a good tie-in to this next part. While this video covers the basics of the program, really, there is an entire world there for you to explore on this stuff. This video is only scratching the surface. It's the method without much of the why, the tools without the mindset. The book gives you everything. In many ways, it's centered around the idea of the warrior and how training for more than just muscle or just strength is a worthwhile pursuit and gives you so much more than you could ever hope to get by training for either alone. It's the kind of program that teaches you to remain calm when calmness might help, and how to tap into that animalistic state of fury when it's time for that, how to act when life hits. I really poured all of myself into this book, and I truly hope you like it. It's my 3rd book now, and while I am very proud of the first 2, I have to say I really feel like this is the book where I just got it. Not only is it nearly 3 times the length of the first 2, but I think I leveled up a bit with the writing, and I feel like I was finally able to make sure every single sentence is there for a reason. It's packed with an insane amount of information. You could read through it 3 times and still pick up something new on your 4th read through. I'm also proud to say I believe the whole thing comes together to form one cohesive entity. That was important to me. I wanted to make sure this was a complete book rather than something like 20 YouTube video scripts placed one after the other, and I do believe I achieved that. I had to go pretty deep for this one. I pushed myself in a way I never have before, and it was all worth it. I've been thinking a lot about the idea of legacy lately. Perhaps it's all the time I've spent studying berserkers and everything related to them, culture and medieval mindsets and whatnot, but I think there's something special about the idea of putting everything you have, your innermost self, into something, of taking what can only be considered your life's work and condensing it into an entity, like an external and immortal version of you worthy of remembrance, a snapshot of who you are at this point in your life and of what you've come to represent as the culmination of your life lived so far. There have been a few times where I got the feeling that maybe I had made something worth passing on, but never like this. Who am I to say whether the book is actually good or not? That's for you to decide, but what I can say is I feel somehow complete for having made it. It feels like maybe this book could be my legacy, and I'm proud of that. That alone is worth the time it took to get here. I hope you check out the book, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do get it, it would really help me out a lot if you would give it an honest review over on Amazon. Amazon runs on feedback, and I'm leaving this completely open to you. You might say my fate is in your hands. I'm not cheating the system by paying paying for reviews or anything like that. I want everything to come directly from you guys, the Stone Circle. If you like it, a 5-star rating would mean the world to me, and hey, if you hate it, that's okay too. I'm always trying to improve if I can. There's not much else I can say on the book itself, other than that I am very proud of it, and I'm excited to see a bunch of Sandbag Berserkers out there running around. I hope to hear from you soon. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.